This is Black Lotus.
Anyway, let's talk about the star of the show. Let's talk about Dan Akroyd and
Yeah.
his experience. And for those of you who don't know, and it's very likely you don't know, he did have a TV series out there talking about UFOs and that kind of thing. But there was another series that he was working on at one time, and it was actually canceled before it ever got out of the water.
Yeah.
Out
There.
And Out There was the name of it. That's right. And so nobody's ever seen an episode because it was canceled before it even started. And it's speculated that the reason it was canceled was because, again, he hit on something that was of national security, vital national security, something or other. But anyway, he had a Men in Black encounter. And rather than us tell you about it, we're just going to let him talk about it, and you can hear from it in his own words.
And I was outside, and Britney Spears called me because she wanted me to appear on Saturday Night Live with her. And so I was outside having a cigarette, the phone rang. Oh, Britney, how you doing? Oh, sure, of course I will. I turned away like this. I turned back, and there was a black Ford across the road, a black Ford sedan. And I was trying to look at the plate, and the plate seemed kind of like fuzzy, and I was, definitely a police car. And two guys were there, and a big, tall guy got out of the back seat, and he stood in the street on 42nd Street it was. We were at 42nd Street and 8th Avenue, and he looked right at me. And literally, I was on the phone. Hey, oh, sure, of course I'd love for the show. Saw the Ford, went back like this, turned back like a half second later, and it was gone. And that car did not go past me. It did not make a U-turn, because I would have seen 42nd Street. I would have seen that thing take a U-turn and go away. That car vanished. That car was a cloaked vehicle of some type. And whether this was like a warning to me, because the guy got out of the back seat, gave me a real dirty look. That car vanished. I know what I saw. And, it was just this fast. It was, oh, hi, Brittany, sure. Oh, of course, I'd love to. Guy gives me a dirty look. Oh, well, sure. Car gone. That's what happened. And then 2 hours later, we were told we were not to continue taping, and the show was canceled, and none of them would air. I don't know. I don't know. Was that an MIB experience? Black helicopters, military abductions that happen. Sometimes people are taken, and they talk about then being visited by military personnel and debriefed about their abduction. Was it a technology associated with some of these beings that are visiting that wanted to warn me off, or that wanted to give me verification that I was on the right track? I don't know. But I do know I did turn back a second later, and it takes so long for an automobile accelerating from 0 to 40 miles an hour to reach the corner of 8th Avenue and 42nd Street going past me, and then pulling a U-turn and going out towards Times Square. I would have seen that car. And I looked around. I was looking for that, and it was gone.
So, yeah, what do you think of that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to make anything publicity about himself.
Right. He needs another $1 million.
Right.
Come on.
And why would he talk about it so openly and just, I don't care? And he says things about a lot of this stuff that he's very much a believer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've watched other interviews with him, and I've seen episodes of the series that did see the light of day, and yeah, he's had his own incidents, and he's a complete believer in this, in the whole UFO thing. And but I think it's interesting that the encounter that he had with the Men in Black just happened so damn fast, a split second.
Again, they knew what was going on.
Yeah, and and the fact that what did he say? An hour later.
2 hours later.
2 hours later, they get a phone call. No, sorry, you're out. Yeah, weird, man. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that they do exist?
I think they might exist. In fact, I'm going to take that back. I think they probably do exist. I don't think all these encounters are real.
Yeah,
I think some of these are made up, and some of them might be real, but I cannot see it not being true that the government doesn't have people go out and question people, and they might not be called the Men in Black and might not fit the description of the Men in Black, but there's definitely that type of organization out there.
Well, and as I mentioned earlier, researching the Roswell incident, a lot of witnesses were told by government agents, not by Men in Black, but by Air Force agents to keep quiet about this, you know, and they went out and intimidated them. So no, it may not all be Men in Black, but I think some of them are.